Let's say you accidentally want to unalive somebody. How would you go about it so you won't get caught? Today I'm gonna show you how you can make somebody disappear without a trace. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but if you're preparing your supplies to kick the door of your bully right now, that's not gonna happen. By unaliving somebody you already know, the chances of you getting caught skyrockets. The police will question you, know that, and they will solve the case. By choosing somebody randomly among the pedestrians, the chances of you getting caught lessens. I advise you to choose offenders. Not only their address is easy to find, they can't own guns. And so many people want them dead. So the police wouldn't care. Who are they gonna question? There are hundreds of people out there who want them dead. Also, they wouldn't care. These people are criminals. They're disgusting people. No one wants them alive anyways. You would do them a favor, actually. Yeah, you would do everyone a favor. But look alive. Pun intended, because I have good news. Unlike what the government and the TV series want you to believe, only half of the cases are solved, not all the cases. So you assume, since you've seen the movies, that every case is solved, and they keep telling you every case is solved and there's no unsolvable case. You think you cannot get away with it, but you can actually. And relax. Allegedly, most police officers are lazy. They don't get paid enough to care, honestly. Especially if you choose a location where there are tons of animal attacks and a lot of missing cases, you're golden. Detectives in TV series are exaggerated. I mean, why would I do this? They are exaggerated. Allegedly. In real life, detectives want to close the case as soon as possible. So before any good deed, I don't know if YouTube will allow me to say it out loud or not. The deed. You need tools. And I will tell you what tools you need. First of all, don't use a gun. It can be traced pretty easily. I advise you to use a knife. Use a knife. But although unaliving with a knife is harder, both physically and mentally, and if you're not a pro, you can't stomach it. So if you can do it, I recommend using a 3D printer instead. The blueprints are all over a deep web. You can pretty much print from bullets to silencers, and they can't get traced. If you want to bury it, if you want to drag the body, if you want to kidnap somebody, if you have a professional camera, people will think that you're documenting or filming a movie. They wouldn't think that you're actually doing the deed, and they won't bother to call the police, so you won't get caught. Easy. If for some bizarre reason you decide to keep the body instead, I don't know why would you do that, but if you want to keep the body parts, you can also use, you must better use a airtight bag, because after a while the body decomposes and gets smelly. You can use these airtight bags, because you could use a freezer or cremate the body, but it's too risky. But with the airtight bags, you can put the bodies, throw the bodies in there, and not only it would not decompose as fast and the odor would not get out, but also it gets smaller and takes less space. If you're in a victim's house, it's really hard to clean up the mess. Okay, so not only if you want to do a stabby stab, okay, it's gonna get not only your DNA, your fingerprint, your hair gets everywhere. Something will eventually slip from your mind, and the police can trace that to find you and get you, and you will go to jail. So what I recommend is kidnap that friendly friend of yours, lovely individual. I mean, unlovely if it's, when there's, Actually, you can kill two birds with one stone. You can pretend that this individual actually got lost and not killed. How? Just kidnap that person and take it somewhere like jungles or something. Jungle would be good. Like in the middle of forest would be ideal. Wait for it. I will tell you why. Also, never do it in a small town or rural areas because the local police have more free time on their hands and they will solve the case as soon as possible. Because in those areas, since the population is low, the crime is low. And this is so risky because you want your crime to hide among the masses. So after you kidnapped your friend, grabbed your camera, pretended you're filming a movie, and when you dumped your friend back in the trunk, but be careful though, you don't want them screaming and alerting the police. Tape their mouth shut. Also, you could grind up some melatonin in their water and food and give it to them before you take off. Also, you could put on some loud music in case they woke up in the middle of all that, better safe than sorry. And now that's the fun part and the most important part. How to get rid of the body. Chop the body into tiny pieces and throw them in the sea or bury them because small tiny pieces decompose more quickly. Also, be sure to throw the pieces in different locations. Now let's assume you got caught up in the act and you couldn't convince the police that you're a model citizen and got into the wanted list. And you want to hide from the police, which I got you covered. First of all, destroy your electronics, your phone, your laptop, so they can't track you. Also, if you think by hiding among the crowd, you can hide from the police and hide from the law, think again. Crowd equals too many eyes. You're easier to find. If I made you successfully unaliving somebody and not get caught, be sure to like the video. See you. Bye-bye.